I do anything?
You started it.
Did I start it?
You did.
What's up, Pete? Oh, we are Inside for Nerds, so I am the sexiest dude on the planet.
Wow.
And did I get that girl's number? I did not, but I got everything else. I'm just
What
kidding.
are you talking about?
I'll tell you the story later.
Please
All right,
don't.
so EU predictions. I want to kind of make a bold one.
What are we predicting?
We're gonna have a little bit of fun, okay? All right. So we're gonna go by 25%, 50%, 75%, and 100%.
I know what all of these
I'm gonna
numbers
ask you
mean.
4 questions, and you're gonna give me the percentage of what you think will happen, okay? Does that sound fun to you? Having some fun?
Okay, tell me. Just answer the question.
All right. So you can only choose the percents once: 25, 50, 75, and 100.
Then you better give me all the answers so I know which one to use them on. Okay, give me the.
But that's the thing. All right. So one of the newest orgs actually making semifinals in the EU LEC. 25%, 50%, or 75 or 100.
Let me see who all the new orgs.
SK, XL, Rogue, or that's it, right?
Can I put it below 25%? I don't see any of these teams.
No, but 25, 50, 75, 100. That's
I'm gonna be. I understand that, but I think.
Okay, we'll do 10. 10%, 25, 50, 75, and 100. What new org do you think? What percent is the chance of them actually making it to at least semifinals?
I'm gonna say whatever the lowest percentage is, because I'm gonna say Rogue's best player, again, in my opinion, is Kikis. Not a great thing. SK's is, I would say, Crown Shot. Again, not too impressive. XL
has the players.
XL has Exile on his good days and Kasing on his...
And they gotta expect who was consistent towards G2's run.
But realistically, whatever the lowest percentage is, I'm
10%?
10% now. I'm gonna say that's 10%. There's no lie.
10% they at least make playoffs.
I would say it's still really unlikely. I mean, there's 3 teams, so like the likelihood of these being the very bottom 3 teams is very unlikely. But I have to. If you're saying at least make playoffs, like Origin counts as a new team, huh?
Technically,
I could see them making playoffs.
If you count Origin, then you can kind of say that. But that's still. Would you still put that at 10%? Because you didn't even have them in your top 6 anyway.
I know, but I could see them make it. I think it's at least a 25% chance they make it to playoffs.
So you're gonna use your 10 or 25?
I'm gonna say. I guess 25. I could see
25 on that.
I'm gonna say Origin could possibly make it to semis. I don't think it's impossible.
So you don't have your 25. G2 or Fnatic in the finals. Spring split.
What's the highest percentage?
100, 75, and you got 50.
I'm gonna put 100% on that. I mean, one of them not making it may be possible. I think G2 might. It's
either or. It doesn't have to be both. Either or can be in the finals.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, if G2 might not make the finals,
then Fnatic will.
Fnatic is going to. G2 might make the finals. Fnatic will. So that's just the reality of it. I think
so you have your 10 and 25 done, right?
Really? How
not 10, 125. So we'll either or. I mean, looking at the league right now, it's more unlikely that G2 don't make it because they still have a new person playing ADC. A lot of people have been saying Perse is a lot of the ADCs that have had interviews, they said Perse is legit. So
I'll respect that.
They said he's at least going to be above HQ level. That's what Bwipo said.
That's not impressive at all.
I mean, but they said he's actually going to be pretty legit so far.
I'll respect that. Like, obviously the pros have more insight. They're obviously more knowledgeable about the game than I am. So I'm gonna take their word on it. If they say he's decent, then I'll take it. But for the most part,
what's decent amount to? Because if he's not better than Reckless, which is Fnatic's,
there's no way.
No, but like if he's not better than like Reckless, and that's their main competitor, Fnatic, then was the switch really worth it?
The realistic choice is they got a pretty decent upgrade in Caps, so they need to minimize.
But wasn't even that bad though.
Yeah, but Caps is obviously way better.
To be fair, Fnatic did go over that. They're like, well, Broxa and Hylissang were babying him a lot, so that's why maybe he might have looked really good.
No, he played well on his own. Most of the pressure he generated through lane was his own.
He literally like solo carried a ton of games.
Yeah.
Just in
I'm
the
sorry, Caps was the best mid laner.
I'm not denying that Broxa and Hylissang helped him a little bit.
Yeah,
but like they were making it seem like they were there like 99% of the time in his lane helping him.
So I want to put this out there, like before we get back to the other percentages.
What?
Okay, calm down. So your 25% thing doesn't work because what if something else is obviously more 25% worthy? The next question, shouldn't I know the questions beforehand?
No, that's why it's such a surprise. I told you to use your 10.
That's not even logical. Okay, whatever. Just give me the next question.
Okay, we'll use a 10 on the other one then. You have 25, 50, and 75 left.
Okay.
Wait, you use 110. Okay. Misfits super team choking in the spring split.
Choking? What does
like
choking amount to?
Basically not getting finals. Their standard is finals.
Is that the standard for this team?
Would the standard not be finals for them?
I mean, Soaz, Fevin on it, coming off of a pretty weak split.
What's the likely percent that you would say that they just...
They don't make the finals or don't make the playoffs?
The chance that just in the spring split, the team is just not working out. Summer split, it doesn't matter, just right now.
I mean, obviously, they're going to have to get over the little humps coming from Gorilla. I mean, the Gorilla is going to be the one communication issue that a lot of people are going to have to work through, especially since most of his abilities as a player come through shot calling / playmaking, which I've said a lot. But Fevin, obviously, I think he's been versatile. I mean, volatile. He either has he was the best mid laner in EU, NA last year in the spring split, and then summer split, he was terrible. I mean, there's too much of, just explosive differences between
I think what Reckless said about them is that, they're kind of a budget... They're like a budget fanatic, where, the superstars themselves are too forgiving. He doesn't see, Hansama as, that big carry, like a double lift, a Uzi. Hansama's not like that.
I mean, Hansama's pretty good.
But he's not like the Uzi, the double lift, the SMLZ of your team.
This team, if Misfits had upset, in my opinion,
oh, God.
Or not even upset, just a different... the ADC's fine. If they had a different top laner, I would put 100% of my faith in them, but Soaz has been inconsistent. Obviously, he's struggled through the regular season. I think he's
Why did people had him power ranked at 3rd in their top lane for EU?
I think he's in the top 6.
I would at least beg 7th.
6th to 7th, maybe. But the thing about it is...
He's a bare minimum 7th because I still think Wonder, Bwipo, Otawamne, and Vizichachi and Kabashar are better. That's 5 people right there.
Who?
And if you don't count Bwipo, because he had
I don't count Bwipo.
That's 4 people right there. And Prophet's actually not... And Alfari. That's 5
Prophet's not better than him.
I would say Alfari's better than Soaz by quite a bit.
I wouldn't say by quite a bit. I think that Soaz is able to compete. The thing about Soaz is, for some reason, I feel like he does way better in high pressure situations than he does during the regular season. He doesn't take the regular season game seriously enough. It's just the reality of it. I just feel like that's going to be a big detriment to this team's success, is because once this team starts falling behind, Soaz is one of the weakest players mentally, because he kind of starts getting angry and stuff. You obviously saw it during his 2017 Worlds when he was like, "Don't put me on dog champ." Yeah, that's just the player Soaz is. They need to start off strong or they're not going to finish well.
I feel like Fevin is a polarizing personality for a lot
He is a very polarizing personality, and that's not going to work well with Soaz's polarizing personality.
Because Gorilla's happy-go-lucky, Hansama's really quiet, Maxlor's pretty outspoken about what he wants in the team.
The way this team works is they start off strong or they don't do well. That's just the reality of it.
Do they start strong or finish strong, or start strong and crash?
They start strong. I think they can keep it up. They start weak. I think they're going to maybe make playoffs, and then they're going to struggle there. I think they do a lot better in playoff situations because Gorilla and Soaz play a lot better in
high pressure situations.
Fevin in the playoffs, I've rarely seen him struggle.
There was one series that he did struggle, but that was against G2 back in 2017 when he was on H2K.
Yeah, but for the most part,
other than that, he's done pretty well in playoffs.
I think that Misfits is gonna make playoffs most likely. Oh, jeez, man. That was scary, man. What was that?
I think it was microscopic.
He tried to bite my nose. Oh, jeez, get off me, dude.
It's a radioactive spider.
No, but for the most part, I think that. Yeah, I think for the most part, Misfits makes playoffs if they're.
So what percent are you gonna use? 25
for the finals?
At least finals, yeah.
I would say it's a 50% chance that they don't make finals. Even more than that, to be honest. I think it's
75 on that one.
I think it's pretty likely they don't make finals, to be honest. I think
there's a lot of expectations for this team.
I do. I would put but the thing about it is, I don't think it's extremely unlikely. I think that 75% is too high because it's really likely they do. I mean, it's likely they do. But at the same time, I think there's a lot of teams that could easily beat them out. I think that Schalke, with their better communication, on top of the fact that they have a few laners that just blow their laners out of the water, I think that they could beat them out. Fnatic has been together for too long. I think their coaching is better. Depending on how Nemesis works out, I could see them obviously being better. Caps, again, Perks, obviously, big question mark on this team. If he works out, they're the best team in the EU. So, realistically, Misfits could be the 4th best team in EU. Just based off of these players alone. So I would put them
50%?
50% not making the semis, to be honest.
25% and 75 left. All right. Fnatic, for those of you guys who don't know, for the past 4 splits, have had the MVP. Reckless, and Caps. What is the chance that they don't have the MVP?
75%.
This split.
Yes, 75. If I could go use my 100 again, I would put it there.
Dang.
I'm gonna put this out there. I think that each one of these players on Fnatic is not gonna be the best in their position. It's just gonna. This team is gonna do well, but not by singular by singular
Star
players.
player.
There's not gonna be a player that outshines everybody else at their role.
Technically, Reckless could.
The only person I'd put at that role is gonna be Bwipo.
I think Reckless.
Nah, I'm gonna say Bwipo, and I think that honestly, Bwipo could get to the point where he's the best top laner in EU. But right now, I'm gonna put Upset over Upset over Reckless in my opinion. He has a better He has a better support, in my opinion, suited for his playstyle. Not is in general, just more so. Upset really fits Upset's play. Ignar really fits Upset's playstyle, and Reckless obviously I think is an insanely good ADC, and he can be one of the top ADCs regardless. He probably is gonna be, but I think this first split, I think Upset's gonna edge him out at the very least. I think that Bwipo could get to that point. I think his improvement has been pretty drastic.
But to be MVP level, I don't see him as the MVP.
Dude, his increase in play has been absolutely tremendous.
I know, but would you put him as an MVP over Wonder?
I could see him being better than Wonder. I think Wonder definitely has his limits. He wasn't the best. Wonder wasn't even the best. Western top laner. I'm not gonna put Wonder's amazing. I think Wonder was the best EU top laner, but I think that's a weak role in EU. If you want my honest opinion, it's just the reality.
Some people say it's stacked. I say it's
not.
Okay.
Visit Chachi, Otamamne, they were on a downward trajectory. The best.
Cabochard really picked it up.
Cabochard and Wonder were the two best top laners, and they were not. Neither one of them were better than Huni in the spring split or Someday throughout the entire year. This is a genuinely weak role in EU. I'm not trying to talk down to Wonder. He's still a great player, but for the reality of it is,
he definitely beat Huni a couple times at Rift Rivals by himself.
At Rift Rivals, this is when Huni I think was on a downward trajectory, towards the end of the split and during Rift Rivals and all that stuff. I think for the most part, the best role is gonna probably the most likely role for Fnatic to get an MVP is gonna be Bwipo, because I could see Bwipo by either spring or summer split being at least as decent as Wonder. So
you don't think Nemesis could be like what Caps was for them?
I don't think he's gonna get to there that fast. No, he hasn't played.
Cocky.
He has not played this season.
He looks like he's baked.
I haven't. Okay.
God, it's funny.
So
75% chance that Fnatic doesn't have the MVP, even though they've had it 3 splits in a row. Reckless, and Caps.
I'm not gonna base anything off of that. I think they might get it based off of their good performance as a team. Is the biggest.
Because the regular season award.
Yeah. Again, a lot of people base it off of how good a team does and then who is the most outstanding player on that team. A lot of people do that. But I'm going to base it off of my opinion is they're not going to have anybody who's the best player in the league.
And you're always right.
And I could see anybody. There's a lot of people on G2 I could see getting it.
All right. So someone had a Vitality comment that sparked me too. Team Vitality steamrolls and gets to the finals.
I'm going to be honest. Team Vitality is one of the most interesting teams in the league. Mowgli works out. This team could easily be in the top 3. I don't know. But
you're putting that at that's your last 25%.
Because I'm gonna have
to. That's the thing, because Mowgli is a really big question mark.
He conversation again. I told you, Kikis was the big shot caller of this team, so that's the reason as to why I think they worked out. He you saw how he turned around the team. He changed their whole play style and the mentality of the team when he replaced Gilius. But now that Mowgli is on the team, somebody who doesn't communicate well, and obviously everybody else is staying the same. So I think this is gonna be a pretty good roster. I could see them getting to top 3, top 2 if Mowgli works out really well and this team doesn't kind of falter in the situation of they replaced one of their strongest their most outspoken team members.
They're like Griffin. That's what they are. They're basically like Griffin. All they do is fight. But
Griffin is intelligent, man.
They just got intelligent. They used to be fight and they did macro really wasn't their.
It's not just purely macro. It's they had macro, but more so they relied on their strengths as players. If you saw Griffin's play last game, it was incredible.
last night.
Like
I don't even want to watch those KT games. They got absolutely dismantled.
Like it was just incredible the way that.
Who do we predict for KT and Griffin?
I predicted Griffin 2-0.
Did I predict Griffin?
I don't think we put it in here. We didn't talk about it on the channel.
We have a video for that.
For KT versus Griffin?
Yeah, we both. I think we put Griffin. He's winning at the moment. I need to beat him in something. But overall, I think they're literally just Griffin. Like, not the same players, obviously. There's
no,
players.
Griffin is intelligent right now. Griffin's one of the most intelligent macro-oriented teams in the league.
And then you have...
And they're insanely capable. I would put them nowhere near... I wouldn't even put them in a similar playstyle, honestly. This team is going to rely mostly on just pure,
Jizuke and Attila carrying them. Kabashard can carry them, too.
I'm telling you, Jizuke, Kabashard are extremely good. Attila's extremely good. Mowgli is a good player. If his talents transfer over, I could see it working, but who's going to take over the primary leader of this team's role?
I guess Jizuke would have to do that.
I guess Jizuke maybe.
Yamato said Kabashard can lead the team too.
No, Kabashard is 100% taken. I don't know why I said that. Kabashard is most likely going to be that role. But reality is, I mean, this team doesn't work out unless Mowgli works out. So there's just too many question marks on this team in terms of
Jack Shaw will probably need to clean up a little bit of things about his play.
I think Jack Shaw's kind of the weakest point of this team, if you want my honest opinion.
I could see him, if they don't make Worlds this year, I could see him just getting kicked.
This team, maybe I should have rated Vitality higher, to be honest. The more that I think about this, the more this team kind of impresses me on how decent their roster looks.
I had him at 4th.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
No, I put him at 5th.
You're crazy.
I put him at 5th. I should have but the thing about it is, again, Mowgli replacing their most outspoken member. I could see this not working out. But I would say, what was the question? Team
Vitality steamroll and get to the Spring Split Finals.
I mean, that's not really unlikely. I think it is unlikely. I don't think it's impossible.
You give it a 25%.
I only have 25% left because your rules are broken. Your rules are stupid. Like you how does this is like a game show where the host doesn't know what he's doing. Oh my god.
Fnatic or G2 don't go to MSI for the first time for Europe. Because it's only been Fnatic and G2 has ever been to MSI for Europe.
If you want my honest opinion, again, there's a lot of question. Boipo is taking on the mantle of being the top laner by himself. Something he hasn't done yet, really. Even when he struggled, again, Soaz took over. Brox, I think he's good. I don't think he's going to be the main carry-oriented threat. Even though he did do it at Worlds, I don't think he's capable of consistently pulling that off. Nemesis has to work out. I think he's a good player from what I've seen, but for the most part, Nemesis just hasn't really had the chance to show himself, so I can't really put any emphasis on him.
He said Caps was the best, now he's not the best.
Shut up, Nemesis. And then Reckless Hillisang.
So, do you think that either out of Fnatic or G2, if they don't go, who would most likely go for MSI for you?
I'm gonna put
That's just a prediction.
I'm gonna put 4 teams possible. 4 teams. I'm gonna give a slight reason. I'm gonna put obviously first one's gonna be Schalke for me because
that's Schalke hype train.
Yeah, Schalke again. A lot of strengths in their side lane. I mean in their like
most of
the carries.
Every lane in general is a strength.
Like Odoamne is kind of weaker last year, but I think he's extremely good still. I think this is one of the best bot lanes in EU. The jungler, I think he is the best in EU. I think Abedigi is gonna be. If this works out, I could see them doing extremely well in the EU. My second team is gonna be Misfits again. Gorilla has a lot of...
Schalke over Misfits?
No, I'm just naming... Well, yeah, I did at the regular, but this is not...
Schalke over to go to MSI.
I'm just going to name 4 teams that I think can make it. So I did Schalke. I think Misfits could make it. Again, Soaz has the capabilities of being a decent top laner. I don't know why he doesn't play like that during the regular season, but... reality is, like, if they make it to playoffs, I could see Soaz playing extremely well. That's what he does. Fevin, again, is a really good mid laner when he's on form.
Just volatile.
And Hamsama and Gorilla. If Gorilla has any way to kind of transfer some of his ability to make the calls around the map, I could see this team getting first. Because if you want my honest opinion, Gorilla would be the best shot caller in EU if he was able to kind of...
If he played at the level he played at last year on Kingzone, he would be even the best support.
No, he was garbage.
No, at the Spring Split?
I mean, I still didn't like him. I think that Gorilla... Well, that's fair. But Gorilla, I mean, if Gorilla has any form of ability to shot call for this team, I could see them getting in the top 3. Again, another team. There's just too many question marks in this league. Like, there's a lot of teams who could make it. 2 more teams. I'm gonna put Vitality again. Obviously, everybody knows I kind of went over them, so I don't really need to go too much. Kabashard is capable enough to compete with Wonder. I think that's one of the few people I'll give that credit to.
You're gonna put the next spot as Origin,
and then it was gonna be Origin actually. I think
love for Splice.
No, not really. I think that Splice isn't bad, and I see them working out. I mean, obviously with that really strong bot lane, but for the most part, I think the last team is gonna be Origin. Mithy has a lot to prove this year. I mean, Cold is gonna be the weak point of this team, even though Mithy probably might be. Mithy has a lot to prove. I think he can come back to form, and Sheriff is a good ADC to come with. I think this is gonna be a good. He gets to mold Sheriff. Sheriff's gonna do what he says. Nuke Duck's not there's no shot callers on this team to compete with, so he can fully take over that role. Nuke Duck is one of the best mid laners in the EU. Alfari is one of the better top laners. So I'm like, this team has parts that could work out, and it all comes down to how much Mithy comes back to form. It's all dependent on that. I can't give Origin any credit that they could make it until they say we need to improve as a team. I mean, we need to. It says he needs to improve as a player. Sorry. And then he does. This team could make it. I could see them easily making it to that. But that's pretty much it.
That's our EU Spring Split 2019 bold predictions. I think if I had a bold prediction to make, I would say Fnatic lose in the finals.
Oh, I could see that. I could 100% see that. That's not. I don't think that's.
I think just being an on paper weaker team than they were last year, then you bring in stronger talent to other teams in general, and I think. The biggest question is still the biggest question that's going to be answered pretty much in the next, 24 hours, pretty much, is G2 working out. If G2 works out the way they do, they're going to be the scariest team.
Wait, is EU starting tomorrow?
Yeah, it's 18th. So,
oh my gosh.
Yeah,
really?
If G2 works out, even Cap said in the video, that's game. It's
over.
The best players in every single role. And Mickey X can be the Bao Long of IG. Like, no one's gonna really pay attention to him. He can play.
Bao Long is going off right now, man. I'm sorry. Like,
so if Mickey X was like Bao Long and just basically did his job.
Mickey X has capabilities. I kind of rag on him too much. I don't think he's that bad. I think he's a top.
People
5.
call him the best supporting EU. No, you're crazy.
I think he's in the top 4 to 5. Even he could be in the top 3, to be honest.
That's the problem. They arguably would have top 3 player in every role. They would also have top 4 player on lowest top 4 player. That's crazy. That means that it will work out. So that's my bold prediction. Fnatic losing the final, and G2 works out in the end.
I don't know if that's too bold, but that's pretty much it.
Bold like California Del Taco Burrito bold?
No one knows what that means. Goodbye.